Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Again, thanks so much for continuing to stay tuned. I am your host, Keisha Lanslin. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about the new multicultural workplace. I know, with the state of the economy, there are all kinds of people out in the market. Well, let's talk a little bit about what the employers should know about the state of the world. Thank you so much, Farnaz, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, tell me a little bit about the census data that brought this to light.
You know, the recent census data revealed the whole new world marketplace. I'm sure you've heard of diversity, multicultural, intercultural. I happen to call it new world marketplace.
Okay.
Because it's a new game. It's a place where people and technology come together, and is getting trickier in terms of race, religion, skin color, lifestyle, beliefs. So now we're kind of dealing with a multicultural society where, it's youthful.
Right.
Women are in positions of key decision making.
You're right.
It's becoming more pillars of lifestyles, not just skin color.
Okay.
How people think, how they perceive things, and it's somewhat youthful. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard, but the census data revealed that already less than half of the toddlers are white.
Wow, less than half.
Less than half.
So in our mindset, where we're out there and we're searching for a job, we're thinking, okay, we have to be in a place where we can get in with the good old boys network. What you're saying is they need to be ready for us.
I think that train has already left the station.
Wow.
I think it's already happening. In fact, when you think about the growth for the under 18, nations under 18, it is 100% Hispanic, Asian, multiracial. And here's a big surprise. I mean, we knew that we're dealing with the aging white. We knew that already. But what's interesting is that in the African American segment, the growth is not there either. Women are working. They're not having as many kids.
Okay.
So what's happening is, 1 out of 3 kids being born right here have a parent who's an immigrant. So think about how that would define corporate America and the future of this nation.
Right.
As baby boomers retire, and then all of a sudden you have this youthful multicultural, that their values are different. One of the reports that I looked at named equality and opportunity as the top 2 values for the youth.
So, okay, in your mindset, you're thinking, well, corporate America can figure that out. But what about the mid-size and the smaller businesses? Are they figuring out that, again, this is a new world marketplace, the people that you need to be looking for and searching for in order to make it in the next generation should be, daughters and sons of immigrants, should be women, are they thinking like that? Are they on the train yet?
I think that's a real good question. I would even challenge that the big corporations haven't figured it out yet. They're still looking at it as segmentation. Well, let's put this % toward Hispanic marketing. Let's put this % toward Asian marketing. Oh, we need an Asian agency, or we need a multicultural agency. They're not really even getting that. Now, this is the new world marketplace. This is the general market. This is no longer a segmentation. It's almost as if a talk that I gave a couple of years ago, I said, what do you mean Black History Month? Do African Americans live only 28 days out of the year?
Right.
I mean, what are you talking about? Like, I'm going to nod and put banners up for Cinco de Mayo or Dias de Cias as if...
on one day.
One day. So it's a shift in paradigm, whether you're a large corporation or you're small to mid-size, until you really realize that you're dealing with a new normal, new mainstream, what I'll call new world marketplace, and this is the reality, and the shared reality is far more authentic and intuitive than ever before. Until they embrace that paradigm and that mindset, we're still going to be looking at articles and newspapers being about like an advertising for Univision or Telemundo, and it's not about that. It's
so I mean, what is it going to take? Because again, it seems like it should be common knowledge. When you look at our schools, when you look at the children who are in the school system, it is far more diverse than it ever was when we were growing up. So if that's not an indicator, what else will be? Like, what else is going to push people to recognize, you know what, this shouldn't be just a non-traditional type of marketing. this is traditional. This is what traditional has become. Like, when are we going to know that?
I think Isha, ultimately it's going to get to a point where companies start losing profit and sales and market share. I mean, the companies that are doing really well, you know, whether it's Apple or Google or, you know, the car companies, you know, enterprise, these brands have figured out that, you know what, the general market is not what it used to be, and it's really, the best way to describe it, it's the pace of the change and the shift and the complexity that contains these critical demographic junctures. But if you look at a brand like Harley Davidson, I think they're struggling because they have fallen into a demographic foe, and majority of their sales are coming from Anglo, older, and now it's like, okay, how are we going to be relevant?
Very interesting. Farnaz, so thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
And sharing with us all this information. You know, it's all about education, all about opening up your mind to what's truly happening in front of you. So many times we have on these blinders and we're just stuck in the mind frame of doing what we've always done. Well, you know what? We've always done doesn't always work. So sometimes you've got to shift the paradigm, shift your thought process. And some of that is recognizing the new world marketplace. Stay tuned for more Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back here on CW 69.